Stormcraft 76. This is Rob G. We're about to get ready to paint the rifle. Last night I went ahead and started putting blue tape everywhere I didn't want to paint, which was the inside of that barrel, starting from the barrel, muzzle device, excuse me. And then I didn't want to paint the barrel at all. I wanted left it black nitride on that ballistic advantage barrel. And I went ahead and put tape on top of the mag, so it tightens up in there and no paint goes inside. And I wanted to paint this mag. I used it as a cover as well. Covered up the trigger and every area inside of it, so no paint goes inside, so I can get kind of close and be okay. I went ahead and covered up my grip, my whole grip, because it's rubberized and paint does not do well on a rubberized surface. So that's why I wanted to cover that up. Everything else will be painted, including the buffer tube. And first step right now is to remove, if you can see it there, remove any oil that's spilling out. Give it a good cleanup. That's the first step. And then after that, we'll be painting. And we'll be using the tried and true camouflage colors by Rust-Oleum. Follow along with a matte clear on top. Give it that nice matte coat. And then my girl swears up and down that her paint is better. So I'm not going to be using her paint, but I'll just put it on the side. And we'll test the colors with the matte clear before on the side to see whether or not it, affects that a great deal or not. So on a separate piece. I went ahead and painted the sample. Riley, what are you doing? What are you doing, Riley? Alright, so I went ahead and painted a sample of all the colors on this dustpan here. So the first one we have, and the reason why you see two spots, I'll explain in a minute. So the first one you have is the army green with no clear matte color. That's the way it looks. And this is with the clear matte coating. The next one is your camo khaki with no matte, and that's with a matte. Now hopefully you get a clear. The next one is earth brown, and then earth brown with matte, clear matte. The next one is deep forest green, that one here, deep forest green. Deep forest green with a matte. So my girl wanted me to try her colors. These are her colors here. There are moss green, satin, Eden, satin, and gloss sage green. Obviously won't be using that gloss, but those are the spray prints you wanted me to use. So this is moss green without no matte, and this is your moss green with the matte. This is your Eden satin. This is your Eden satin with the matte, and then this is your gloss green. So hopefully you can see the color variations. Her colors are too bright. You'll notice them from a distance. Maybe in some instances you would, depending on your surroundings, but not over here in an urban area. I would not be using these at all. So these are my primary colors, and there really isn't any color deviation from using the matte. All it does is just apply that coating. Makes it difficult to scratch. I just did, but that's on a shiny surface, debris surface that's already been painted. So that's what we'll be doing, using those colors there. We won't be using none of her colors. And we'll be applying the matte color, the matte clear on it after we're done. Okay guys, so I went ahead and already wiped it down with the some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, to get any oils or anything off of it. I also use this little portable blower to blow out any particles that might be there present, and you won't be able to see them. So these are some of the mock-ups that I drew up because I wanted to have a thorough understanding of what I'm doing here. So the first one, I had some stencils of using some foliage, and I didn't quite like the look. This one had a lighter color blend. I had foliage stencils using foliage stencils and colored scope mount here, colored caps on the scope, but I didn't like the way this looked. Okay, the next one, mock-up 2, was using more of a traditional pattern camouflage in those bubbly, patterns here, and a darker foliage color. This would be your forest green, but I didn't like the way it looked either. I mean, it was getting there, but not there quite there yet. And of course, it was painted at the muzzle. The next one, mock-up number 3, had faded colors in there. You had the khaki at the very top rail, and then you had the light green in here, and then it went back to khaki, and then you had your torn paper and mixed angles, which I really do like the look in there, how that torn paper looks. And then the next one here, it had light faded colors. I added the foliage stencil to see how it would look, and then some chicken wire in there, some little bit of chicken wire areas. Didn't like that at all, so I was leaning towards this. So using that previous design from mock-up number 3, I went ahead and created mock-up number 5. Shows faded light color base. You can see it from the khaki down to the light green, and then over that would be the torn paper design using the same angles. So if you see that, and then a painted scope mount and a painted device. So this would be the brown on top and then the green on the bottom. I was thinking like, okay, well, if there's like grass everywhere, but when I was driving around the city, and I just noticed that, most of the green that your eyes do catch is at the tree line. And then on the bottom, it's either cement or possibly dirt. So that's why I designed a mock-up number 6. I added the brown faded on the bottom with the light green base at the top, and then using the dark green torn paper look at the top, and then along with the torn paper look dark brown at the bottom. Okay. And then this one also includes the chicken wire paint in there as well, in black. We'll do that in flat black. So it looks good. We're gonna go with this one here. Stay tuned. So the first base color is gonna be your army green. We're gonna be doing the fade army green at the top only, and then the khaki color is gonna be on the bottom. That's our base color. So the first is the green, and then after that it's gonna fade to the khaki, and then let it dry after that. Here we go. Want to use fast, short strokes, like that. Want to make sure all the angles is covered. And the most important thing is try to get in here in the rail. That you can spot that very easily. You want to make sure that is covered. This is your army green. I like the way it looks. It's nice and flat. Nothing to it. Like I said, I want to make sure, go ahead and grab a shot over here. I want to make sure that that rail cover is completely covered. Now it's okay if we bleed into the bottom, that's fine, because we're going to be covering that area on the bottom with the brown, the khaki color. So we're going to let this dry and then flip it over and do the other side. How's that look? Looks good. Let's make sure that rail cover is completely covered. I want to be about 10 to 12 inches away. Fast, short bursts. Don't let it bleed. Alright. We're going to let that dry and we'll see on the next one. Well, that is drying there. Went ahead and painted the khaki color on the little hand mount there, hand stop. So that'll go on the bottom. Like I said, all this is going to be khaki color. We'll see how it turns out. I'm really liking the army green color on here. It's looking real sweet. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you on the next one. So we're back. I went ahead and flipped the rifle. It looks like it was dry on the other side. Did a little bit of touch up on one side. And the next side, we're going to do the entire top area here. And match the other side of the level. So here we go. This side is a little bit more intensive, where you have to get in the nooks and crannies. So be patient, and it'll work out. Then gotta make sure that rail cover is completely done. It's okay if we bleed into the other side. The khaki brown is going to cover it. Want to make sure you get the rails the opposite direction so that it's all covered. It looks good. We'll let that dry and apply the khaki color. The camo khaki by Rust-Oleum. And we're going to be going from the bottom up, cover all that black. Now it's okay if we bleed into the green. If that happens, all we do is just reapply the green on top of it. So again, we're going to make a blend. Let me grab the photo and the example of what we're doing. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're doing the base color, that light green, and then the base color, the khaki on the bottom. So it could be pretty nice. Here we go. Now your stock is pretty difficult to get all those nooks and crannies, but just do your best. Try not to do any bleeds. We don't want bleeds. My hand's getting tired of pressing this button so many times. Alright. Alright, this would help. We done got one of the hand grabbers pressure things with the trigger. Makes painting a whole lot easier. Like I said, if we bleed into the green, it's okay. We'll just add another layer of green on top of it. There's no problem. This is the complicated area, so obviously I expect to bleed into the green. So these area here are the rail mounts. Try to get all the little nooks and crannies of it. Little short burst, so hopefully you don't create any bleeds. You may have to just do a little bit at a time. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let that dry, and then we'll flip it over. And as you can see, I overstepped and went into that rail mount. So when I do a green, I'll go a little close in but fast and go across that green. Let it dry, and we'll go ahead and set that. Maybe I can do it right. Army green, I'm going to reapply on the top area. I'm going to get a little closer so we don't try not to overstep. So if you end up messing up, you just repaint it. Good thing about this spray paint. There we go. So go ahead and get a shot around the rifle. Let them see what we're doing. Okay, I went ahead and flipped the rifle over so we can apply the khaki color on the other side. We're going to go ahead and apply it here. My cameraman is busy. His mom went to, has him doing other chores. So let me go ahead and apply this color, and I'll show you right after. Okay, so I went ahead and sprayed the khaki color on the bottom. And of course, there's bleeding into the green, to the army green. So I went ahead and applied a second coat of the army green on top of it. So it has a nice blended look. Coming out real nice. Hopefully the camera on this phone comes out really nice and clear. I know my shadow's getting in the way there. So as you can see, this is what it's looking like. Alright. Okay, I went ahead and got the chicken wire out, cut a little piece out. Now for the chicken wire, I was thinking about doing a gray, like kind of like a dark gray. So I went and tried out this primer, flat gray. That's the flat gray right there. See how it combines with the camouflage colors. Or I can try doing the automotive primer, which is a flat black. And that's the way it's looking is there. I think I might just go with a flat black. It looks a lot better. We'll do that for the chicken wire pattern. So I've been applying the chicken wire on there. Let me get on the other side so you can see it, so I'm not in the shadow of it. Don't create a shadow. Here's your chicken wire pattern there. Very lightly I've been doing it. If I do it light, it comes out pretty nice. So you can see there. Comes out pretty nice. If you go really light, about 6 inches away with the chicken wire. But if you have the chicken wire in your hand and your hand is not steady, then you'll end up blotching it, and that's a blotch right there. Does not look good. I have to redo the green on there, the armor green, to get rid of it. And it looks good right here. And it looks so decent right there. So that blotch, the good thing is we can just fix that. So let me go ahead and fix that, and I'll show you right after. I went ahead and fixed that blotch. And you can no longer see it. So we're going to leave it as is. And then we'll go ahead and apply start making the stencils for the torn paper look at a 45-degree angle. Not a 45-degree angle, but close to it. We'll see. We'll start laying that out. Let me start cutting those out and see how it comes out. Okay, so the next step is we're going to be doing a stencil to create these torn angled edges in the design. And to do that, I went ahead and grabbed a yellow manila folder, opened it up, and just let my shaky hands do those patterns. We'll cut them out. That'll be our stencil. And we'll apply it all along the bottom edge of there. Now I still need to flip this rifle and do the chicken wire pattern on the other side. So we'll do that first before we do this. So let me go ahead and do that first, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so the next step is we're going to be doing a stencil to create these torn angled edges in the design. And to do that, I went ahead and grabbed a yellow manila folder, opened it up, and just let my shaky hands do those patterns. We'll cut them out. That'll be our stencil. And we'll apply it all along the bottom edge of there. Now I still need to flip this rifle and do the chicken wire pattern on the other side. So we'll do that first before we do this. So let me go ahead and do that first, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so when you're applying your chicken wire pattern, you don't want to put the chicken wire at a 90-degree. Okay, you want to spray the chicken. You want to put the chicken wire down at an angle, just the way it's shown, at an angle, and not straight. You don't want a chicken wire to be straight. It looks weird, right? So when the angle gives it that nice look that you're looking for. You put the chicken wire straight like this, it's gonna look weird. Don't do that. Always at an angle, 45-degree angle. And that's the way it looks on the other side of the rifle. So the next step is cutting out that stencil for the torn paper look and apply the colors on there. Okay, so I started cutting out the stencil for the torn paper look, and this is how I did it. You use a razor. There we go. There's the shot. We use a razor and just try not to make any straight lines. Make it nice and jaggedy, so you get that look. I started to use scissors, but with scissors the problem is it gives you that straight line. You don't want that. So I need to correct this, make it jaggedy, make it look like this. And when we're painting the stencils, I see many people, when they use stencils, they spray, you know, upwards, and you're not supposed to do that. Stencils, you always spray from the area where there's no paint, where paint's not go through, and you spray downwards to get that look, right? You don't let the paint bleed underneath. So you're gonna have to go. I have to go this way, downward, in a fast motion, and that's how we'll do it. All right, we're just letting the rifle dry up over there, and then after that we'll get to it. Okay, so I went ahead and made a sample of the torn paper because I wanted to see how it would look with the fade out of the sun there, and that's pretty much how it's gonna look. I think it's gonna look great once it's on the rifle. Get that fade base coat in there, the browns, get the greens, forest green in there. It's gonna look awesome. Stay tuned. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and like and subscribe for more content, and keep you posted on new stuff that comes out. Got some product reviews. I got a what do you call it? Prepper phone. I don't want to do a product review on it. It's not really a new product, but it's something that I believe everyone should have. So that's coming out. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, like what you're seeing, go ahead and like. It helps out the channel a whole lot. Okay, so this is the first attempt on using the torn paper stencil on the dark earth brown. As you can see, it looks pretty good. It's not bad at all. Now I did mess up here in this area. I blotched it, and luckily I still had the original cutouts. So what I did to correct it is place the stencil right over it, and then gave it a khaki brown right over it, and it came out like that. So that's great. So it is coming out pretty good. So I went ahead and flipped the rifle over and applied the dark earth brown. It's coming out okay. I kind of messed up here, but I went ahead and tried to correct it. So it's coming out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. As you can see right here, it sprayed a little bit too much. It faded out too much, so that's kind of like a blotch, right? That's definitely a blotch right there. That's a mess up right there. So we're going to go ahead and correct that. I'm going to show you how I did it. So I got the army green, and we're going to correct all this dirtiness right in here. And to do that, you need to get the original stencil, cut out, place it right over it, and then apply the paint on it, and that'll correct the blotches here, and while maintaining a sharp torn edge. Give me one sec, I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so I went ahead and painted the deep forest green. As you can see there, came out right there, some lines in there. You can definitely see it here. Came out really nice. See the chicken wire pattern in there. Check that out. That looks awesome right here. That blends in and connects with the other one. That looks really nice. I love the way it came out. Alright, we'll let this dry and flip it and do the final blend of it. See how it comes out. Okay, I went ahead and painted the, flipped the rifle and painted the dark forest green on the other side. Couldn't be more happier. Looks phenomenal. What do you think, guys? Did a good job? What do you think? Freaking awesome. Can't wait to take off the blue tape. So after this, I'm going to let it dry, let it sit for a while, and then apply the clear matte coating. It'll seal it, protect it just a little bit more. It'll still get scratched up and worn look, but not as much. It should feel nice because right now it's sticky around the buttstock area. So once I apply the clear matte, it should feel more that solid plastic feel and shouldn't stick to your face. That's the whole purpose of applying the clear matte to it, so you don't get that sticky feeling on your face when you're putting your cheek here. And it'll enhance it just a little bit, It'll still be flat colors, but it'll enhance the color just a little bit and protect it. Yeah, I never believe in going half-ass. I mean, I saw tons of videos and people painting the rifles, and it's all good if that's what they want. Some of them even stated that they didn't care about how they painted the rifle. I'm not one of them. I don't like doing anything half-ass. I like going all in. If you're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? It's a reflection of your work, your craftsmanship, and I'm not about doing shitty jobs. So that's why I took my time, did my mock-ups. Might get people saying, well, you went overboard in drawing mock-ups, this and that. Well, that's just the designer in me. I mean, I'm a software developer by trade, but I'm also a designer. So, hate it or love it, that's who I am. And I don't do anything half-ass. Okay, so I went ahead and applied the clear coat matte on it. It does have somewhat of a sheen on it, but that's going to wear off as soon as it dries. It should be nice and flat, matte color. It's a clear coat, like I said, for revitalizing the color, protecting it. It'll still get its nicks and dings, which is no problem, that's what we want. But the main part was protecting the buttstock area so that it doesn't become sticky around when I push my cheek up against it. It'll have that same plastic feeling and no stickiness. That was the whole purpose of it. So as soon as this dries up, about 15-20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and flip it and do the next side. Okay, I went ahead and flipped it, and the matte paint dries extremely fast. And I went and applied it on the other side. Once again, that sheen should come right off as soon as it dries up. Couldn't be more happier. It looks really nice. One thing I don't like is that fade right in here. Blends out too much. I don't want that. I want it more like a little bit more sharper look like this. One is over here, so maybe I'll take my time and fix that slowly. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll make a cutout, fix it up, block certain areas away, and then just fix that area right there. Guys, this is the final rendition. Took off all the blue tape, starting from the barrel. That's how it came out. Let the barrel black, buffer tube nice and chrome. Came out amazing. I'll take another photo or video during the day. You can see the chicken wire right there. Came out phenomenal. Hope you guys liked the entire process. I did my best to get the entire thing down on video so you can see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the other side. Everyone likes it, so I'm happy with it. I'll take some photos outside tomorrow and post it as well. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you on the next one.